I really didn't. And so, you know, between what's going on across the world, and then you couple that with the pandemic, we were already, you know, that was already anxiety provoking, and then you throw in, you know, like personal stuff. It was just too much. And so I would say, like, for me, the sentiment that I had all week was just completely overwhelmed.
I found myself literally like going through the day with a lump in my throat and just like, like I've just been dying all day because I'm like, wait, what's happening? Like we are in the midst of so much shit. Like I was talking to my mentors, and my mentors happen to be like these three, you know, prominent white people. And in my meeting, I was just like, yo, when I was telling them all the things that I have going on, I was just like, God damn, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired because in 1 minute you gotta be a mom, you gotta be a professional at work, an entrepreneur, you gotta be Black, you gotta be super proud, you gotta be real fucking depressed. You have to be, you know, like creating things all the time and really sticking up. And now you're being in charge of educating white people as well. You know, like, and it's kind of like, golly gee, I need a break. Like, I legitimately need a break from everything. I don't, and then on top of that, like you guys said, we are literally still in the middle of a fucking pandemic, fam. Where it's like people are literally still dying just by breathing on someone, coughing on someone. You're wearing masks. It is now hot as balls.
Yo. And these masks are getting on my fucking nerves.
Can we talk? The sweat is dripping down. It's catching you in your mask. The mask is falling below your nose. You're trying to keep it up, but not touch your face. You got to cover your ears. You got to put on your mask on your child. You got to feed your dog. There's all many things that are going on.
Oh my God, that house sounds crazy.
I can't take it.
It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah.
And then if you wear glasses, your glasses are fogging up because of the mask. Like,
and if you only got one side of glasses, your glasses is falling off in the supermarket. So you're like, okay, all right. Just like, I'm gonna lay down in the middle of the floor real soon
and lose it and just lose it.
And just stay there.
Yo,
so So and that brings down to and you guys are both proud members of LGBTQ community. And we have been seeing, not only are we fighting Black injustice, but y'all got a whole nother fucking layer.
A whole nother fight on top.
I'm like, these niggas can't win at all.
Yo,
what's happening out here?
I literally had a Jill moment where I had to reach out to my job as well. Like, all right, I'm trying to take calls and orchestrate and be all bubbly over the call, and literally fighting back tears through my introductions and everything. And I'm like, all right, let me send the message. I need a timeout. I need a timeout. I can't do it. And I literally had to take a timeout from everything. My emotions have been all over the place. Do you understand me? There has been so much rage and anger, frustration, sadness, like a smidge of joy and hope in the midst, sprinkled in between. Like, and then it snatched. Because on the LGBT side, or LGBTQ side, I have to witness videos of my people beating my people as if there's somebody different, almost to death. And then there's been plenty of times where they have succeeded in killing people of the same color just because of their life or who they are as a person. Like, literally perpetuating the same oppression that you're fighting and marching against onto the same type of people. I don't understand it, yo. It's so frustrating. But I'll let you get yours off, Tito, before I start preaching, Jesus.
Listen, I've had a very long week. When Monday came, I did the whole, let me call them and let them know I'm not coming in today. I'm going to take Monday to myself.
Shout out to calling out Black.
Monday to myself. Listen.
Shout out to calling out Black.
And calling out Black. And it's just been like an ongoing thing. Every time I open up Twitter, it's something new.
Yeah.
I sign out of Twitter. I come back on. If it ain't freak Twitter on my timeline, it's something depressing. And I'm just like, I need a moment of a Black boy joy somewhere. And I feel helpless because I have to stay in the house because, you know, I work from home. And it's just like, I can't go out and interact with people. You know, shout out to the people that went out and did the whole protesting and stuff. I just didn't feel comfortable doing it because, like you guys said, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah. So I'm just more concerned about those numbers when they decide to drop. So the only bit of happiness that I had was buying myself a Marc Jacob bag. That's it. The only bit of happiness.
How'd you
That's the
buy
only
it?
bit of happiness. Huh?
How'd you buy it?
With the work check.
Oh. I was about to say, did you get it from somebody
the riot?
who got from somewhere
on the black market?
Legit black market. And that's been another thing, like watching these places like burn to the ground. I'm like, but you know, on one hand, you got to be very responsible in your words, and in the other minute, you like, but who's selling the bags? What? Who got the stuff?
If anybody knows,
asking for a friend, you know,
asking for a few friends.
Anybody got a small? Anybody got one? No, you got them.
We're not perpetuating that, guys. We're not gonna.
But yeah, it is like I watched the news. I went out to the first protest on last Friday, and that was, you know, like that was peaceful. I heard later that it turned up. All throughout the news this week, we've seen no limit soldiers out in the field putting in the work. And that is saying it very, very easily,
mildly.
Yeah, very mildly. Put it in. I mean, Brockton was.
Brockton turned all the way up.
And I'm gonna say it. Shout out to Brockton, straight up like that. Shout out to y'all for going the fuck off. Like I felt that in my spirit. I was watching that like, yes. Like, I felt that in my spirit.
Form
but wait, I'm
organize. They gonna get y'all. Push back.
But wait. Yeah. Did y'all see when the cops kept spraying the tear gas in their own faces? Did y'all see when that was happening? Like y'all, bruh, like y'all got to.
What I was seeing was the tear gas being thrown and niggas.
And it was coming right back.
You know, and throwing it back.
Like, oh,
they about that life. But then there was also, I feel like the forces was working against the cops too.
Yeah.
They would do their pepper spray and like literally wind would gust the pepper spray
back into their faces.
Come on,
that
universe.
was the Lord trying to tell them something.
That was the Lord.
It's not worth it.
That was the whole Lord.
Right. That was the Lord trying to tell them something. But I'm bothered that the fact that they use these tactics when we are protesting peacefully and when we are just trying to be heard. It's just like they want reasons to attack us and beat us and use the famous "you're resisting" to hurt us. It's just like it bothers me because it's just like a lot of times these protesters, they're peaceful and then we decide to go home. But you know, we gonna get a little rowdy and turn up just a little bit. But it don't cause for 5 people chasing us down, beating us with batons, pepper spraying us, shooting rubber bullets in people's face. Like those bullets, when they hit you, they tear your skin. People are gonna have, you know, scars and stuff on their faces until the end of time. All because you couldn't just let them have a moment to themselves. You have authority all the time. You live under the authority umbrella. So to allow someone to speak up and, you know, speak their mind and tell you that you're wrong for once, shooting somebody in the face with a rubber bullet is just like, come on now. And then some of these officers, they're getting checked by some of their peers as well. I seen a video of a white police officer throwing a black girl down, and it was a black female police officer that went off on him. Because she was just like, enough is enough already. So I'm sure they see it, and I'm sure there's a lot of tension in these police departments amongst, you know, the whites and the blacks. They see it, and at the end of the day, they all probably saying, we have a job to do, but I know they know that it's wrong. But that's not going to stop them from keep doing what it is that they're doing. I just think that the way they're handling it and going about trying to calm the situation is not realistic. You don't need these weapons because, not for nothing, all the people that have gotten arrested for this protest, not one person has had a weapon on them. So you know we're not coming to these protests
firecrackers
to be violent. A firecracker, come on now.
Exactly.
A little rowdy ain't never hurt nobody.
You know, like, we're not coming to these protesters with guns and knives and nothing like that. people pulling up with water, milk, and change of clothes, extra masks, all of that stuff.
Can we talk about how?
Themselves.
Can we talk about how the whites have been able to assemble with guns in hand, and it never?
Oh, because they want to go to the gym and they want a haircut, so they get to go and march wherever they want to march with guns and do whatever they want to, and they get a hey, come on, Jim.
Calm down, guys. Calm down.
We get rubber bullets.
We get tear gas. Things have not changed. Things have not changed. Oh, you got to turn the volume.
Oh, how do I stop this? Sorry, guys.
But it is one of those things that have just been very interesting to watch. Interesting to watch a civil war uprising and how this is all gonna play out. We got a big dummy as y'all president who's out here just saying whatever he want to say. Today, what was his latest today? Oh, George Floyd
he's smiling down.
He would be smiling down to see how the economy is doing right now.
This is a good day for him.
I said,
all the cops.
Oh, you're privy to what George Floyd would have thought about this right now in the middle of a war, in the middle of protest, in the middle of heat, and in the middle of pandemic? You think that George is smiling down because the unemployment rate went down 13% or some shit? Like,
the audacity.
What's happening here?
The audacity.
Where are we?
He exhausts me. Like, seriously. Like, he's still the president?
Like, when is November?
And the way that we are going right now, it is a really good chance that we are in for 4 more grueling, treacherous years of this bullshit. So I hope that you guys are prepared. Because people are still too stressed out about Joe Biden saying that if you vote for Trump, you're not black. I mean, we've all said it, but you
can't say it.
I mean, exactly. Like, chill, Joe, chill. We need you to chill. We need you to shut the fuck up.
This is not the time. Like, you literally have a walk in. Yeah. And you gotta say something to fuck it up. Like, just
be quiet. Just say everything right. Just don't say nothing wrong. If you say something wrong, just get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness.
And pray about it.
Shut the fuck up.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet.
Joe, shut up. But let's move away from that because that's heavy. And after a very, very heavy week, and after doing all that, we really want to have some fun. Medino,
can you untilt your hat real quick? I feel like it's okay. All right.
Well, all right. That's all you're gonna get.
That's it. Okay.
You are a rapper. You are a rapper, and you are an openly gay rapper. Tell us more about what this is like being in hip hop culture, and just like, what has been your experience?
It's been pretty decent to say. Like, I haven't had anybody throw tomatoes at me or anything like that. So it's been pretty good. It's very competitive. Especially where I'm from, it's very competitive. I think it's turned over the years, it's turned into like a trend now. So it's like, a lot of gay men, they kind of just like use music or rap as like a medium to become popular amongst their friends, or to just gain, a huge following, because everybody wants to be somebody. So
attention.
Yeah, it's really just about, can you actually rap?
Preach. And I'll vouch. And I don't vouch for too many.
Yeah, because I was about to say, well, can you?
He drops bars.
I've been on your Instagram, so I'm just kind of rocking the.
You better spit something else. You better spit.
I mean,
you trying to bait him?
I mean, I'm a rapper myself, and I can spit something for you guys, and y'all let me know how it is.
Okay.
Ready?
That's what we're doing. Okay.
Got me a beat.
Wow.
My name is Danielle, and I don't sound.
No.
And all y'all haters can go to hell.
Why everybody that raps always gives you like 2 bars and swear they did?
My nigga, that was at least a hot 9.
But why do you always have to start with what your name is?
Your name is. That's when you know people can't rap. When they start with what their name is. That's how you know.
Well, how they supposed to know who I am if I don't start my name?
There's so many other ways.
Oh. So what do you think?
Oh, you're asking him to judge?
Yes, he's the rapper.
Oh. Okay.
Remember, this is my show.
Yeah, like
I will shut this whole production down.
We will be finished right the fuck now.
I'm mad the camera switched to her when she was doing it.
Not a problem.
Miss Petty over here.
So no, so I wasn't good. All right. Okay. Yeah. So when did you get into rapping?
I really got into it when I was in summer school, when I was in elementary school.
Oh.
And that was like some years ago. So I've been doing music for about like 14, since I was like 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got that little Kim swag when he raps. You can hear that New York swag when he talks. He's got that
and
little Kim
who
swag.
are some of your influences?
Like she said, Little Kim is one of my favorite female influences because I think she just really embodied what it was to just be free and express your sexuality. But I also, of course, I love her mentor, Biggie. Like that's the godfather to me. I'm really big on Fabulous. I just love his whole, like the whole swaggy, because that's how I see myself. I like a little conscious rap, so I like Common. I do like some other non-rap. I listen to a lot of R&B or like some, I guess, alternative music. I really love Amy Winehouse.
Oh God, I love me some Amy Winehouse.
Yes, I love Amy Winehouse. I'm gonna say Auntie Mary because I can sing that to her album from front to back,
like a true New Yorker, like a true New Yorker.
We'd expect nothing less.
But, just like all of the whole '90s era to me is like what inspires me and like who I just like. I'm glad I was able to grow up in the '90s, even though I was a child then. But it's just like, looking back at it, it's just like, damn, that's an era that we will probably never get to witness again. But we can try to we can try to take from it and bring it back.
Jodeci vest on. You see the Jodeci vest? Yes, give me the belly roll. Yes.
Do you sing too?
No, I don't sing.
Really? You seem like somebody who would sing too. Like you got a nice sweat in the shower. That's where I do some of my best work. All right before we start recording, because I was hitting them nizzos early.
You weren't hitting anything.
I do wanna. Do you internet date at all? Are you single? What is your stat? Are you single?
Okay, so yes, I'm very single and unavailable.
And why are you unavailable? You got somebody
unavailable because I don't have the time. Don't get me wrong, like there's very attractive guys out there that try to talk to me. And some I may have a conversation where go back and forth.
Entertain.
But I don't entertain, but I won't really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I'm not going to say I don't invest. I kind of just allow them to leave because a lot of times I already know that you don't want nothing from the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you only hit me up when you see me posting a selfie of me looking fly, or if I'm in my underwear or something like that. Like, if you only hit me up when you see stuff like that, I already know that you don't want nothing serious. Like, you just want to know if you have that access to me. I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say hi. Or I may thank God they give you these reactions to responses. So when people be like, what's up, sexy? Or they be like, you sexy? Heart button, or just put the laughing emoji and then just leave it at that.
Hands, thanks.
Praying hands. God bless.
Praying hands. Thank you. God bless. Like, we're not going to get too much into that. I actually started deleting a lot of my dating apps because, not for nothing, I'm not a racist. Let me just say that. But since I've been here on these dating apps,
nothing but white guys.
Yep.
Thank you. So it's hard for me to actually get into wanting to date. Like, I'm not against it. I've seen it and, sometimes it works, but I know that there's always that underlying intention somewhere. We always see it when, one or the other is kind of just like, do you guys have these conversations to educate? That's just more work
Yeah.
in a relationship that I don't know if I'm ready to do. If I can't take you to my family barbecue and you do the electric slide to Frankie Beverly and Mace, I don't know if this is going to work for us. You know what I mean? Like maybe we can just
potato salad. I don't
know. Like you putting raisins in the potato salad. What's wrong with you, John? Like,
John.
You know what I mean? So it's just like
you don't have the time.
Right. I just don't have the time for it. And you know, there are some Black guys out there, but you know, the interaction that I've gotten with the Black guys, I don't know if it's like an intimidation thing. Maybe it's just because they feel like I'm too aggressive, or they just feel like they wouldn't be able to hold a candle or handle someone like me in the way I carry myself. Then, I mean, by all means, I don't ever want anyone to sell themselves short. If you know that you are getting into someone or something that may be out of your league and you want to retreat from it, I respect you 100% more because you're not wasting my time.
We are the same motherfucking person. Yeah.
All of it.
From the white guy straight up until intimidated and all kinds of stuff. Like that is like legit. I can't do it with the white guys. I've tried to swipe right or left on one of them.
I have, and first of all, it's never a match. It's never a match. And then if it is a match, the only thing that they do want is dick. Like it's just like they only want the dick.
Gotcha.
And I'm not gonna lie, there's been some cases where I have taken down a white guy, but that's all it has ever been. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I heard that. That's all it's ever been. It's never been anything more than just that. So it's kind of just like that sucks. But
so would you consider? So the advice that I got on last week's show was to change my zip code to New York so that I could, you know, find more Black male prospects. Have you considered doing that?
I mean, I already know everybody at home, so I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. I already know all those.
No.
Let me not say I know everybody, but everybody in New York is connected to somebody. And a lot of times you just got to be careful of those circles that you get yourself affiliated with. So, you know, what I date
especially in the
York,
community.
Right. And then another thing is just like, you know, a lot of times people are not willing to leave their stoop. Like they only want to date people that's within a certain radius of them. I've tried dating Black guys here that told me that they don't want to travel no more than 20 minutes because anything other than that is long distance to them.
They lazy.
The conversation was done after that.
Wow.
But, you know, living here in Massachusetts and trying to talk to somebody in New York, it's just like everybody tells you, oh, I love to travel, or it's no big deal. But then when it's like, all right, well, now it's time to actually, you know, do that. Get on a bus or drive down here, or I'll meet you halfway type of thing. It never works. So it's kind of just like, you know, I'm not going to keep investing my time in trying to talk to people that I know is not going to come out of their way to see me. I can say maybe one person has actually made the effort to drive to come out here to see me and spend the weekend. And, you know, he got a boyfriend now. So, you know, that didn't work.
Okay.
So, you know.
I had one
shout
guy.
out to them, though.
We literally couldn't even have a full conversation in New York. Like he's one of those New York guys, right? Got a match.
This has been recently?
This is recently.
Okay.
This is recent. I tell him, you know, I always give the confession. All right, jig is up. I'm actually from Boston, but you got me. But, you know, I don't mind traveling. So then all of a sudden he went on this long rampage of, oh, I can't do long distance because females be thinking men are made out of money, and you think I'm supposed to travel and then get a place to stay and then take you out to dinner, and then
he was broke. That's all
I
that
was like,
broke as fuck.
He was broke.
Bruh, like I didn't say any of that, number one, and the fact that you led with that, unmatched. Like I'm done, absolutely done. And I'm not even, you know me, I'm not even that type that comes for your pockets like that. But bro, you're not gonna come at me immediately,
right?
Like. What you not gonna do? What I'm not gonna do is match with you. You got me messed up.
What I'm not gonna do is like your picture.
You got me messed up.
Swipe unlike you.
I was like, clearly you've been through some things, sir. Like you've been through some things, and I'm sorry to hear it, but that's just nuts. Like that long distance do be, especially in New York. They really
take time, and it really takes people that are actually committed. I've done long distance relationships before. They work if you know how to do the communication. I feel like nobody wants to do the communication, so that's why these things don't work. I love the man that lived in fucking DC and he was cheating on me. So that's done now. But still,
well, I
you know
didn't
what
think
I'm
that was
saying?
gonna end that
Like,
way.
I didn't. I was
of course this was gonna end.
I love
We
the
ain't
man
together
that
now.
he cheating on me. Yeah.
But,
See,
like,
that's where I'm going next. To date, after New York don't work, I'm gonna change my zip code to DC and find one there.
I'm off to New Orleans.
That's a little. Damn, you going far? You gotta get on a plane, bro.
I'm going to the Bayou.
To the Bayou. Jill, you have changed your zip code to expand your reach. Are you still open to white guys as well? Because I know that you were entertaining some here, but are you still entertaining now that New York has shown you a whole cesspool?
New world.
You have stepped into the chat room.
I mean, I think this week, I'm not gonna lie, it's been particularly hard to interact with
because we're in mourning.
It's so heavy. Like it is so heavy. And so like a part of me finds myself like, if they don't bring it up, then I'm kind of like, word. So we're just gonna ignore
the fact that this is going on. Okay.
Exactly. And then if they do bring it up,
every touch and go.
I wish you would say I wish you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, there's really no winning. And so this week I really had to focus all of my dating energy into my Black Kings because
my Black Kings.
No, let's not do that. We shouldn't laugh at that. That's horrible.
No, it's true. I really did. And I've had an opportunity to interact with a couple of pretty cool guys. One of them unmatched me because he was like, "Oh, who do you live with?" And I said, "Oh, do you work for the US Census Bureau?" Unmatched. I mean,
pause right there. So this has been her issue this week. Like she's been
I hate it. I hate it.
How do you guys feel about people asking you off the bat, who do you live with?
Turn off immediately. Turn off.
It's not really
I mean, it might be different for guys. It might be different.
Oh well, I mean, for a female, it might be different. For me, it's not. When people ask who I live with, I think they're trying to find out, like, do you live with family and can I stay over? That's the first thing that comes to mind when I feel like they ask.
Sex with you?
Right, like, can I walk out of your room naked and not feel like your little cousin or something is there or your grandmother's on the couch? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's what I feel like they be asking when they want to know who you live with. Yeah, like she's watching her
grandma
stories.
on the couch. She's stories. Good evening, ma'am.
That's so awkward. That's so awkward.
That is awkward, but I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Hello, Mrs. Johnson. It's a pleasure to meet you. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna go have sex with your grandchild now. Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Like I'll be right back.
I'll see you later.
But I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not saying that there's never an appropriate time to raise that question, right? But I also think that, when you're saying, hey, how are you? I'm good. What's your name? Jill. Where you live at? Whatever. Who do you live with? Whoa.
Nah. All right, not first.
That can't be the third question in the lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Because what does it say to you?
It tells me that you're plotting. Yeah, you're plotting to, if
murder you.
Your place or mine. And like, we're not even there yet. Like, can we get there? It's presumptuous. And I think maybe that's my biggest issue with it. It's like, how are you to assume that, like, you're even going to get
to this point
where who I live with even matters? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally just exchanging pleasantries at this point. So I told another guy who asked me the same question, like, off the rip, I was like, I live with my husband and my 4 kids. Like, what do you want from me here? At this point, like, who cares?
What was his response?
When can we meet?
Wait a minute. You told him with your husband and 4 kids and he still said, when can we meet?
They don't care.
When can we meet?
When can we meet?
Wow.
I told you,
I thought the gays were bad. Those niggas got us beat.
No, but I heard that gays are more so open with just what they want to do. Like, I think I would appreciate that a little bit more. Like, if you on here to fuck,
download the Grindr app and then just put a picture of like a black man up there, you're going to get a lot of pictures of white dicks and white butts and white buttholes and all of that. And they're going to ask you, are you hung? Are you hosted? That's it. That's all they want to know. Are you hung and are you hosted?
What's hosting?
Hosting, yeah.
Hosting meaning, are you allowing people to come over?
Oh,
interesting. I might use that.
Are you hung or are you hosted? Me too. I'm gonna use that too. I can't wait to get off of this live so I can go.
Okay, Cupid, here we come.
Yes.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
You don't want parts of this, Jill?
So earlier today I was ranting and raving as well because I was just like, it ain't even been 2 weeks yet. And, you know, my boyfriend, who I have committed my life to, that I met last Tuesday, you know, like he started to get a little bit sexy and, you know, super sexy. And it was all about his dick and all about eating pussy and all kinds of this and that. And I'm like,
so what's wrong with that? Yeah,
I mean,
to get it out the way.
It sounds cute. I mean, he wrote a really good song.
People be bored of just want to talk nasty.
When he was
like let the man have his moment. Like I want somebody to text me some freaky shit so I can jiggle at work.
Exactly.
But I think that I'm in a state where I'm looking for love.
Oh,
you can find love, but you need him to be
in
a freak
between.
too.
Yeah,
I'm the problem.
Maybe.
Look, my head shook. Like,
yeah, it just might be you.
It might be.
I mean, what was the segue though? I think like delivery sometimes really does matter too.
Yeah.
And so I guess
don't even be
was there just
delivery? But like, good morning. You want to suck my dick?
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on now. Nah, bro.
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
I know it wasn't that crass. It wasn't. Because you wouldn't still be talking to him. Stop it. You're such a liar.
You know, like we'll be talking like, what was I asking him? Something, and he we started talking about his penis size, and he was like, yeah, something, but I overcompensate with my tongue, and I'm like, oh my.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
No, it was fine. It was fine. But then I think
we love a good tongue bath over here.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it.
And it's been real. Yeah, it's been really long since I've had, you know, like some real attention down there. And I'm a little bit, you know, I'm impressionable. And I told him that, and I was like, you know, I'm really impressionable right now, and I can't really deal with that type of talk.
Oh. So it is literally a you thing.
You went church girl on him.
But so what? He's still nasty. So.
But you should embrace that. Like we all love nasty, because there's gonna come a time where you just gonna be like, choke me, and you gonna want him to choke you. He's not gonna do it. You
like to be choked?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
No questions asked.
And I choke back.
What do you? Okay, what's the most? Okay, we all have freak levels. What is your freak level?
You don't have a freak level, Danielle.
I got freak level.
I said your full name. I said it.
I had a fucking freak level. Okay? I'm a freak, super freak.
Listen,
super freak.
I'm not gonna say who this person was to me, but I had someone that I was involved with that would lick my armpits.
Interesting.
I can get that. I can.
What can you get about it? Huh?
Yes.
Like sometimes. Okay, so sometimes.
There's some tingling
this is about to make me sound like a weirdo. But what I'm saying is that like sometimes you're attracted to someone's like pheromones and like the way that they smell, and so I can maybe not licking it. But
have you sniffed an armpit?
I can sniff
all the time.
I love a good armpit
all the time.
Especially
I love
if it's
sniffing
like,
a man armpit.
You know, like it's not fresh shower, but it's kind of like, you know,
your deodorant is starting to wear off.
He was like, don't wear no deodorant.
Yeah,
and then
just chops up your tongue and stuff. That could get
like he liked that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that's something that I would request.
Did it feel good?
I was involved with this. It did. I was just like, oh.
No, that would tickle me way too much.
I'm with the shits. I'm have my.
I mean, at first it tickle, but you gotta really sit there and focus. It was something that he wanted to do. It was one of his kinks, So, I was just like, okay, well, do your thing, my nigga. Like,
I'm gonna try it. I'm trying it. There we have it. Got a new thing to try.
You're gonna try lick the armpit? See, I guess my problem.
No, that's not how to.
Not quite. My problem is I don't know how to focus, and that has clearly been my issue in everything. I don't know how to focus. I wouldn't be able to sit there and focus while you are licking my armpit. Like in my head, I'd be like, "This nigga really licking my armpit."
It's happening right now.
I was thinking the same thing, but I was just like, he nasty, but I like it.
You know what I mean? Yes.
Exactly. He nasty, but I like it because if he won't do this, I wonder what else the fuck he gonna lick. Like I'm just you know what I'm saying? Like it's just those type of things. Like you appreciate when a guy has some nasty in them. So if
we
the
got
man is texting you. Go ahead. Who got a question?
We got a question from the people watching. So people are saying, what about nipples? What about guys that like their nipples rubbed and sucked? Is that weird? I don't think so.
That's not gay. I like my.
I didn't say gay.
Shits.
I said weird. He said gay.
Rub them shits. Rub them, lick them, suck on them.
Yeah,
do what you
all
gotta do.
That.
Like
I like to be. See, I need to grow up.
Here we go.
This season, that is your mission. You need to grow up. That is it. That's what we want from you.
My thing is, I don't mind licking the nipples and even sucking the nipples and nibbling on them and stuff like that. I don't want you to ask me to do it. Just let me fucking do it. Yeah, because it's suck my nipple, suck my nipple. Put your big chest down, nigga. When I get over there, I'll get over there. Pushing your, what are you pushing your little chocolate drop nipple in my mouth? You suck my nipple. Like, come on. Don't ask me because then I have to be like, now I gotta suck this nigga nipple. You know, like
no, that's not the attitude.
That's the problem. You got the wrong attitude.
Yeah.
I don't know obviously I don't know that's why I'm really happy for Henny and Hot Wings because I am learning so much and I'm also learning that I'm so vanilla that it's so disgusting and I don't know how I made it for 36 years of life and I haven't done anything. Yeah. Like my husband's gonna be like, oh,
that was cute.
Look at you.
Look at the church girl.
I want to be like, yo, I got me's a freak. Nigga, I got me's a freak in the sheets. Like that, I want that kind of accolades, but I'm not going to get that.
But that's not the energy that you're giving. No. Literally, like, your energy matches my church outfit today. Like, do better. Do better.
That is rude. Damn. You're rude.
She said R.I.P. Damn.
R.I.P. You're freak.
Damn.
You're rude.
I mean, get it together.
So what would would you guys recommend I do? Get drunk? Because when I'm Henny drunk, I'll go. I'm about it. I'm DTF.
Are you really though?
Yeah. I don't even remember. But you know what? Even when I'm DTF.
Wait, somebody said suck on his toes. That's what somebody has said.
I've had my toes licked and sucked on too. I'm starting to notice a lot of guys have like a foot fetish. So a lot of times they'll ask like, do you have pretty feet? And I've been told I have pretty feet for a guy because, I don't wear sandals and run out in the street and shit like that. So, they be like, oh, let me see your feet. There's guys that get off on feet pictures. There's guys that get off on rubbing your feet. I've seen guys be like, oh, put your feet in my face, put your foot in my mouth, and they be jerking off. I'm like, oh, y'all niggas is nasty and I'm here for all of it. Really
now, however,
type of questions.
I don't know if I can put a male's toe in my mouth. I'm still.
That's it. Because you gotta watch. You gotta watch the feet. It gotta be the. It just depends on how the foot looks. I'm not saying I'm one of those people.
Stressed out just thinking about it.
I'm not saying I'm one of those people that be like, oh, put your foot in my mouth. Nah, nigga, don't do that. Like, you can give me your foot. I'll rub it with some socks on.
Not
depending
a
on how they look.
You wouldn't even rub a foot without a sock?
I'll give you a foot rub.
Do you fuck with socks on?
Are you one of those?
Yes.
Slipping and sliding out here. I'm about to say, don't be slipping and sliding out here. Nobody got time.
It depends, though. It depends on the socks. Because if they cheap socks, they slip and slide.
Ooh.
The Nike socks don't slide.
He said, they got grip on the grip. Oh, excuse me.
You gotta wear them, what is it? The jump zone socks.
Like, you gotta wear the socks that don't slide. It be them
With the
cheap
grips at
socks
the
that be
bottom.
turning over.
See, and another question: do you guys get fully naked when you're having sex, or do you leave some clothes on? I have a problem with clothes being on at all. Like, I want you completely naked.
I was about to say, if you don't grow up, I was about to say,
no.
On.
No,
okay.
I don't want no socks on. I don't want any of it. I want you to be stark naked. Yeah.
Because there is something about when there's like that quickie moment where you just got to get it in real quick. That's fun when you're like almost fully clothed and you can get a little peek hole here and get stuff in and cracking.
I've had sex with a nigga who had on phones before. It was really quick, and those are cute phones too.
Listen, I
with
bust
the basketball
some niggas down in my
socks?
fucking what you call them, the fucking Tommy Hilfiger socks, the little Nike slide. I've done it. I've even put my boots on because I was a little too short. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to do it.
Get the height. Come on. Like, throw in some Timbs, make it
right. Like, throw a Tim boot on and just stand on the edge of the bed because that's the best, that's where it's at.
Yeah, like socks on, like if we're getting it in with socks on, I'm gonna wiggle my toe to try to get them off. Like I'm gonna try to stick. Yeah, I want them off. Take it off. Why we got socks on?
No, some guys' feet, you know what? Like, there's a reason.
Yeah, like they got this.
Yeah, like it's for your own health and safety.
Because they'll cut up your sheets and you.
Exactly. Don't nobody need that kind of drama.
Yeah, or that trauma.
Like, right.
You got enough trauma going on.
Hold on, let me get a Band-Aid. You just nicked my toe. You just nicked my leg. I'm bleeding.
Or
now I might have
my sheets.
Toe jams in my blood. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't need toe jam in my blood.
It's not worth it.
What advice would you give straight women about men? If you were to give, if you were
I'm not straight anymore. I'm kind of like in between. I'm figuring things out.
I'm figuring things out.
Now I'm figuring things out. I don't know. It's hard because there's so many different types of guys out there. It really just depends on the type of guy that you are into. Like, you have to have a good tolerance level for the type of guy that you are into, because a lot of times, right, like we be into niggas that we know ain't no good for us, and we still be trying to pursue them and trying to push forward with making something work, knowing that he not shit, he ain't never gonna be shit, and his mama knows he ain't shit, and we knew he wasn't shit, and we still trying to change him. Like, I think that's just the thing with us. So my advice to you is to just have a good tolerance level. And there's this girl on my timeline that I used to work with when I worked back in New York, and she used to say all the time, when it comes to men, don't give them all, give them some.
That leads me to a really good point. Like, I'm one of those people that love to give, and I love to give a lot. So, like, I'm either go hard or go home. And I've been really having a hard time not giving so much. And it does feel good. Like, don't get me wrong. It does feel good to not go. But then I feel like that's probably why he don't love me, because I ain't giving him shit. I'm not going to cook. I'm not going to clean. I'm not going to do a motherfucking thing. I
think just be yourself. But always keep in mind that, like, I've always kept in my head when I'm talking to somebody, like, you're not the only one trying to be the only one.
Yeah. Facts.
So, you could cook a meal for a nigga, you could throw it down, wash his clothes. If he don't go to bed with you at night, like, eat his ass, like, whatever. Like, if he not going to bed with you at night, then you don't know where that man's sleeping at. You just gotta always keep your guard up. But even still, because married men make time to cheat on their wives.
Married men make all the time.
So it's really just like, you just got to protect yourself more than anything. And I think that's why a lot of times people say, oh, you're selfish, you're self-absorbed. Yes, because I don't know if you're going to hurt me or not.
Yeah.
And you could tell me that you love me. Like, you could tell me you love me till the fucking sun come down. I'm going to wake up in the morning and you're not going to be here.
Yeah.
I don't know where you at. So it's really just about looking out for yourself. You can, as a woman, like, I know it's instilled in you guys to, like, nurture and provide for men and do all those things. You could do that, but don't let him get to you to where you can't, you lose who you are. You know what I'm saying? You lose yourself with that.
That's facts.
So where would you draw the line? Like, would you say like eating his ass is like the
wow? That's where we're going. Okay.
Like,
all right.
Where I'm just trying to
Straight
gauge.
to the
I'm trying to
left.
gauge.
Put
Like,
you onto a secret.
What's too much?
Yeah. See, that's
like,
me.
Eating ass on the first night.
See, it wouldn't be me. To me, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be, you know, that girl to eat the ass. I don't, you know.
No.
Give me some time to grow. You would have to be damn near, like we would have to be in a very long relationship and married, and that's our last resort. If you don't eat my ass, I'm getting a divorce. Okay, fine. Yes.
You have to threaten me at this point.
Right.
Not like that. You won't. Not like that. That's not gonna work. Nope.
That's not how you do it.
Nope.
That's your ass eating face. That's your ass eating face.
Looking like she's dying inside.
See, I don't know. I just feel like anything less than matrimony, I can't eat your ass. You can eat my ass.
You know,
all day.
For me, it's really just, you know, have the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, just communication just plays a big role in things. So for me to draw the line with someone is really just about the conversation and the consistency. Because a lot of people can come off as if they interested, they want you, and, you know, they put in the effort for like 2 or 3 days and you don't hear from them no more. So it's just like, you don't never want to don't ever give yourself too much to people without knowing if this person has genuine intentions or if these niggas is just bored. Because a lot of times niggas be bored.
Especially during this pandemic. Yeah. Especially during this pandemic.
No, this pandemic is something different. Because
this pandemic has shown who's really real and who's down. Because a lot of niggas ain't got no job. So there's no reason for you not to be able to text me. It's
you ain't got nothing but time on your hands.
You ain't got nothing but time on your hands.
You ain't that busy.
Because you on Twitter retweeting shit, you on Facebook sharing shit, you carrying on Instagram. There's no reason that you can't text me. But because I know you ain't got no job, you collect the unemployment, my nigga. What is you doing? You not texting me. You ain't doing nothing.
Money because you want unemployment. You got money.
Right. You got money. And I heard they was collecting the money back because niggas was doing fraud and shit, but that's another story. So, you know, if your account ain't in the negatives, you ain't working to try to fix that. Like, you got nothing but time on your hand. There's no reason why we shouldn't be communicating on a regular basis.
All day. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying text me all day because I'm not get annoyed.
No, I'm like, in agreement.
But I know what you mean. Like, you know, like in the morning, a little good morning text throughout the day. Hey, you know, give me a call on your lunch break, or, you know, like an afternoon text, you know, even a little midnight snack text where you're doing a little freaky shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just put in the effort so I can
let
see
me know
that
I'm
you
on
really,
your mind.
Right, like that I'm on, like you thinking about me. And it don't have to be forced. Like, don't force it. Don't force it. Because sometimes niggas be overstaying they welcome and don't even realize they wasn't even welcome to begin with. Ooh. So now it's just like, you here, nobody invited you to this party, and you drinking up all my shit. You gotta go.
You gotta go. No,
you gotta go.
I gotta tell a dude that today. He was like, "Oh, but I don't like some." I never motherfucking asked you. I have never once asked you what you liked or what you didn't like, because I never gave a fuck. So for you to give me your opinion is beyond me. It's so crazy. I only have one glasses. But that's how I've been very hostile. Like, especially with dudes these days, I've been very hostile. Jesus. I've been completely not with the bullshit. Like, I've been checking niggas very left and right. Like, why you mad? Relax.
Yo.
Your energy is distributed wrongly. Relax, fella.
I've been going toe to toe with fellas left and right. You understand me? I don't have no time for.
But that's another energy that you don't want to invest in. If he acting up, leave him on scene. I turn the read receipts on so you can see that I read it.
I read it.
And you
I'm
didn't
purposely
get a
not responding. Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna respond to it. I'm not even gonna write okay. I'm not gonna write K. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna just read. Oh, that's how you feeling, and I'm not gonna respond back to it. And then every time you text me after that, you're going to know that I saw that message, but I didn't entertain it.
Because I'm purposely opening it, reading it, and not responding.
You know why? Because I have OCD. I don't like the little red bubbles telling me.
Me either.
Why be the same way?
Me too. I can't do it.
The notification got to be cleared.
Exactly. All of them. From the email to everything. Yep.
Wait.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Me and Hot Sauce definitely be tag teaming the Henny and Hot Wings things because the dots be jumping up and I'm like, I can't do it.
No.
Right.
No. Can't do it.
Gives me anxiety.
Cut it off. Stop. Somebody answer that text.
Right, I gotta clear them out.
I mean, sometimes though, I will say that I do get distracted easily, and so sometimes I do think I respond to somebody, and then it turns out I didn't. So I'll let that slide. Maybe like, one time I'll give somebody a one-off where it's like, oh my bad, I thought I hit you back, I forgot to press send or whatever.
I do that a couple times.
I am always ready to cut somebody off. So like, you can't go 24 hours without communication and think that I'm gonna be talking to you the next day. Like, I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah, no, see, I tried that and it's not very effective. I've had, a guy tell me, like, I really like you, I want to get to know you. But every time we talk, it's like real dry. I'm always having to initiate the conversation. There's nothing to talk about. Like, you could have just kept this publicly on the timeline instead of coming into my inbox.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? And making it seem like you had a genuine interest.
You could have just left the comment with that one. Could have just left the comment.
Like, you could have left this on the public newsfeed for everybody to see. So I could have just put LOL with a straight face and moved on with the rest of my day.
Why
Instead of
like
thinking, this nigga is really about to, like, rock my world. No, he about to get on my nerve. That's what he
But see, that's what, like, there's so many of those memes that say, unless you ready to something and something, leave me the fuck alone. Like, why are you bothering me? You know that you don't have no intention to bring anything positive or even, good to my life. Why are you bothering me? Because you're bored? Because you're bored doesn't mean that I have to be bored.
Right.
Or I have.
But what if you go into it thinking? What if you go into it thinking that you're not about to waste somebody's time?
How?
Who said that?
I feel like sometimes
who accidentally waste somebody's time. Who does it?
Right, like who does that? Listen, I'm a man myself. I know when I'm wasting somebody's time. I know when I'm bullshitting them. I know when I'm about to sit here and gas a nigga head up just so I can get an ass picture or a dick picture, and then I'm gonna be on my fucking way.
Yo,
like,
you better preach.
Niggas know what they do. Like, we know what we doing. We not stupid. And don't ever let a man tell you he don't. Because if he made it past the 5th grade, he know right from wrong. Like,
that's right.
No, I feel that way too. Like, I know that you're just kind of feeling me out. Don't feel me out. You already know how I respond to you in everyday life. If you know that I'm not feeling you in public, why the fuck do you think I would be feeling you in private? Like, that is crazy to me. That is crazy. But I do be entertaining niggas just because.
We do. I mean, I feel like
I do. I'm not gonna say anything.
We in quarantine.
We're bored. We're bored.
Right, like, what else is there to do? But then I feel like you entertain a nigga long enough, you start seeing potential, then you just like, oh,
you okay?
Oh, this is real.
You want to come over?
Exactly. I was like, do you want to come over?
I love you. I don't know what just happened here.
You want
exactly.
You want to watch a horror movie?
Yeah.
Candles? Like,
wait.
No, the thing is when you bring them in, and then you got the candles set up, you got the TV on you strategically under your blanket and stuff. Like, come on, sit down, come in.
And the Chinese food is on the way.
Come on, delivery. Come on.
That's cool. That must be Grubhub. Sorry.
Yeah, we go get that so I can show off my little cute penny.
I got cucumbers and sausage.
Wow. Cucumbers.
No, they don't. Grubhub don't deliver those.
No, they do not. Somebody in the comments said Jill has a point. You can be interested in someone and lose interest when certain things come up while getting to know a person.
Oh, like niggas.
I don't think everybody goes into wasting somebody's time on purpose. Like,
no, not you.
I can agree.
Everybody. It's not everybody, but I think he's saying that some niggas actually do know that they come and waste your time.
I'm just gonna jump out and say a majority. I'm just gonna jump out and say it.
I'm gonna go with Mo on this one.
Yeah. And there are some that, and I get that aspect. I've been there where I thought I would really be digging somebody, and then like, not so much. But my thing is, I pull back. I'm not going to waste your time knowing I'm not interested in you. Feel me?
Yeah, like
so you kind of know when you're wasting somebody's time. You don't just be like, "Oops, I wasted your time." Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Then they want to apologize and they sound like Keith Sweat. I don't.
Do you have?
No, that's a thing.
What?
The Keith Sweat syndrome. Yes,
Come
it is
on.
a thing.
You know.
Do you have a type?
I used to, but I don't have a type anymore because
What
my
was your
type don't
type?
like me.
Oh shit.
What was your type?
I'm not doing this.
My type is always going after the niggas that want to waste my time. Like
That's real.
How
That's
do you
used to
real.
be
spot
willing to
that
give
though?
I used to really be willing to give any nigga the time of day that would give me the time of day, and then I realized like I'm playing myself looking goofy.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
out here looking like a animated cartoon with these niggas. I can't do that no more. So, I just allow people to be themselves, because now we live in a world where everything is so diverse and people, categorize themselves or label themselves under so many umbrellas. And, as gay men, we already have this whole no fats, no femmes thing that we deal with. And it's just like there's guys who don't want to date you if you're too thin. They don't want to date you if you're too fat. No fats, no femmes.
What's fats?
No fats, no femmes. Fats meaning like guys that are considered thick guys or large guys. They prefer like slimmer guys. I think if it's anything less than the 34 waist is considered reasonable. Anything over like 36, you're considered like a large person. So there's some guys who really they break, like there's some guys who are very, they're very strong-minded about that mentality, no fats, no femmes, and we struggle with that in the community. And I never understood it. I never cared if you had washboard abs. I don't have washboard abs. I'm a fat nigga. I tell myself I'm gonna go to the gym and work out. Thank you, boo. And I don't be in the gym working out. So I just want someone to like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like I don't care if you fat. If you fat, cool. It's two fat niggas. We just gonna make it work.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not OD big, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I wear large in shirts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like to some niggas it would be like, oh, you too big for me. You know what I'm saying? Because they want their nigga to wear a small or a medium.
Oh,
that's fine.
That's that's super specific. Like,
but it's like
what size shirt
they
you
have,
wear, nigga?
right, like they have these what they call, I forget what the word is. It's like they pinpoint like a lot of characteristics. They have this thing where they want you to act a certain way, like they're always asking, are you masculine? Or and to me, masculinity is not a look, but to these gay dudes, it's a look. To me, masculinity is a trait. Like, right, it's an energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you pick up a basketball, and nobody thinks that you're one of the girls? You know what I'm saying? And it's not all about, throwing a fitted hat, you got this big bushy beard, you squinting, looking evil in your photos. Like, it's not about that. But that's what they do to give off this I'm mass thing. But then you see them in the clubs with the go-go going off to Beyonce and them. And it's just like, okay, we knew you was one of the girls from the last post, but we didn't check you for it. You know what I'm saying?
What is a femme I know what a femme is, but like when no fats, no femme, what is that? Like, you don't want super flamboyant, like
right? Like, they don't want someone that's super flamboyant. They don't want someone that's clockable. They want to be able to walk down the street and feel like they walking with a heterosexual person, where it's not causing attention or stares, where they're looking like, oh, these niggas is gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want that. They want to be able to walk down the street and people look at them and just be like, oh, that's his homeboy or something. You know what I'm saying? They want that. And sometimes it works for people. To each his own. Everybody is allowed to have a preference. That's what the word I was looking for. Yeah. They have these preferences. Everybody's entitled to have their preference. But for me, at this age that I am now, it's just like, what is a preference? A preference is just limiting you to finding happiness.
And honestly, I feel like with those preferences, you're kind of perpetuating that same oppression that
breaking it down. Like, you're breaking it down.
My gayness in order for you to be attractive.
I think we had an episode before where we broke it down. I think it was with Ysham, and kind of putting, like, you're already gay, and then you are putting yourself into like a category. Yeah, a category. And do you fall into one of those categories, or do you identify as one of those categories? Like, I am a
No, I'm just a gay black man. That's
no.
That's it.
like,
That's
you know, some people want to define me as like a queer artist because I make music that gay men can identify to. That's fine. You can label me whatever you want. I don't label myself that. I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And, you know, that's just that. Shout out to everybody who's comfortable with being themselves, you know, and that's what's making the world go round at this point. People just allowing to, you know, people just having that freedom to be themselves.
Yeah.
Right. I don't understand the need to quantify things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or just categorize.
Subcategorize yourself
Everything.
into
right.
Like what
these
the
little
hell?
smaller cultures, and it's just like, okay, you want to break this down till there's only 2 of y'all niggas that exist.
That's it. And what do you call yourselves? I don't even know. There was a question that came in. We're going to switch gears just a little bit. A question that came in: how do you let someone go if their sex is whack?
Leave, girl. That's it.
No, you can't just leave. You gotta have a conversation, don't you?
Yeah, you gotta have a conversation.
Listen, spice it up. If the sex is whack, is it the whole? Is it all the sex that's whack, or is it something that the person is doing that's whack? Maybe the back shots are not hitting right. They off bet.
How do you broach that conversation though? Like, how do you start that conversation? So, you know,
it don't even have to be a conversation.
It could be in the midst. I'm just like, that's what I'm all about. I'm teaching you in the moment. So if you
teach,
trying to
like, just tell it, stand there and let me do this. This is my shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that.
Stop moving, motherfucker.
Stop moving. Let me hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, take control of the situation and see how that person reacts to it. If they're okay with allowing you to take control of it, then you don't have to let that person go. Because maybe the sex ain't whack. Maybe they just don't know how to do what it is that's satisfying you. But you know what works for you, so you could teach them.
Oh, so we got clarification. So they're saying, what if you've been with somebody, right? And you think you're really digging them, and then you find out the sex is whack. How do you exit out of that situation?
Before you exit out the situation, bring the toys. Bring the toys
and try to make it work.
Bring in toys to see how it works.
And you just gotta
kiss them on the forehead and it's over.
Kiss them on the forehead on the way out. No. You can't. There's gotta be a conversation. You gotta sit down and say, "Hey, hun."
So there's this thing that you do.
I just wanted you to know that, you know.
There's this thing that you do, and I'm not too fond
of
it.
Not good. You are not good at sex.
It's hurting.
It's hurting.
You are not good at sex.
Wow. That's like in the middle of sex, and you guys talking about teaching in the middle of sex. Ow! Ow!
You hurts.
Can you not? Just be screaming.
Yes.
I hate it.
No, that's not where you put it.
No, I try to give teachable moments, but if there's a moment where it gets frustrating and you're not receiving the teaching I'm trying to give, then I will. All right, it was nice, it was fun. I can't do it. Cut. It
could have just been a bad moment, because I've had bad sex before where, like, the person knew it was bad. I knew it was bad. We didn't really speak on it until we were not in each other's faces to where we can have that conversation. Because again, conversation is what really drives relationships. We had an open dialogue, and he said, you know, the last time we did it, it wasn't all that great. I don't know what was happening. Maybe I was in my head. Maybe you was in your head. I don't know. I agreed. And we was just like, you know, maybe we should stop for a while and then see what happens. And then we tried it again. It really wasn't no issue after that.
No.
But, you know, like, maybe you just need a moment to break from that person.
Or maybe sometimes you're just going through some shit and you can't.
Especially like around the first time, because I remember one guy that I was talking to, our first encounter was really bad. Like he
it was trash.
He literally porn fucked me, and I was just like, you don't even know me like that to be like doing those kind of things to me. And
he was trying to impress you.
Like he was, and it was bad. It was really, really bad. I almost felt taken advantage of. And, you know, after that, you know, after we, you know, got to know each other a little bit more and he could calm the fuck down, it started to be really more interesting. But at first I was like, oh no.
Yeah, like
we
fellas,
cannot do
if
that
you
again.
are watching, please do not jump out the window
Yeah.
and do the shit that you want to save for marriage. Like save some shit for marriage.
Or even I feel like a lot of guys watch too much porn and think, oh, I'm gonna go and give it my all. And it's like you have to really read the person that you're with. And
read
like
the room, Carl.
Yes.
And the same thing that what he said. He said, but how can you have a conversation when this nigga been talking about licking it, flip it, rub it down, and then
and that's another thing.
Yeah, I feel like you can't really oversell yourself before it happens because you don't know how it's gonna go down. You don't know.
I'm giving men game right now. Number one guarantee way you are going to get the pussy is by not talking about getting
child.
Holy shit.
Yes,
it makes a woman go mad and want to throw it at you. Do you understand me? I'm giving y'all game.
You know how many niggas have talked themselves out the pussy?
Yo, talking all that dumb shit. You know what I'll do to you, girl? Sit right on red. That's what you're gonna do to me. Sit right on red.
Damn, fellas.
Elaborate. Porn fuck. It was just like it was too much. It was like 16 different positions in like 3 minutes. It was.
Y'all just met.
It was crazy. Like when I say like I felt like right before he came over, like he watched porn and he was just like, mental notes.
It.
Do this, do that, do that. All right, switcher, grab it up, flip it, rub it down, go. And I felt like that's what I received. And I was just so unhappy with it that it really put a really, disdain for me in him. That the second time I was very like nervous. I was really
as you should be. Like, I can't go through that again.
No, like nobody wants to deal with that. That's not okay. I'm not pleased.
So what if like with one of your New York boyfriends, all of this rapport, everything seems like, when you finally meet is going to be a whole wrap. And then, but you guys are in love at this point. You've already pledged and dedicated your life to him. And then you take the 4-hour drive to New York, or let's say he comes down here and sees you and the dick is trash, bro. What are you doing? What are you going to do? You're in love though.
Now define trash dick, because trash dick could be
workable stuff. Yeah, there's things you can work with.
Right, there's things you can work on. Like define trash dick. Like, is the stroke off? Is the mouth not working? Like, is he just like trying to jackrabbit? Like,
that's. I just feel like jackrabbit is.
I mean, I feel like the margin for error is not good.
The margin for error.
No, when it's long distance dick, and then you legit have like 48 hours to make this whole thing work. There's no time. So it's like you got to come in hot. So
it's giving Little Caesars hot and ready pizza.
Exactly. Like, shit, you got to know what you're doing. You got to go into it.
I think that might be something that you like. Okay, because if you're doing this long distance thing and you're talking, and you're in love, and you're gonna finally meet up each other, it's a whole nother ball game when you're in front of this person, because that chemistry has to be on point. Or you gotta find that chemistry, or you're not even gonna end up getting to that position.
I was just gonna say, somebody said a very good point that I agree with. Do not fall in love before getting the dick. Like that.
Sauce falls in love quick though. Like, she can't help herself.
I told y'all that I was ready to end it all.
Oh my God. I need to sample before I know for sure if I'm in love. I need to sample.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta sample the milk before you buy the cow.
I got to know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, falling in love means like I've smelled your armpits and I like the way they.
We're back to the armpits.
No, I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that go into play. Like, I can't just be falling in love with your personality. Like,
I just be ready, man. I'm ready.
Nah, man.
I'm ready for her love.
She's so vanilla with life, my friend. Just vanilla.
I'm trying. I've been really trying. I haven't been trying.
She's like, I haven't been at all.
I don't know. I think I was bred this way to be.
It's all right.
Sweet child.
Vanilla is a flavor for a reason, huh?
It is. And it's a good flavor.
It's a flavor.
It works for some
It's a
people.
good accent for apple pie.
I at least want little jimmies or something, little sprinkles or something. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
That's cute.
Y'all are just gonna sit here and go silent on me like, right? Okay.
You didn't make us a believer. You didn't make us a
wow.
believer.
I mean, I'm like the other day. Nope, nothing.
Somebody said
right.
Hot sauce.
Right.
See, and that's the thing. It's not boring. It is safe. Fuck you. Not boring. It just means it's a little bit, you know, like it's the one that you eat with your brownies. It's the one you eat.
Dependable.
Yeah, it's dependable. You know that what you're gonna get is gonna be at least good. It's not gonna be like a party in your mouth, but it's gonna be, you know, satisfying. You know.
Okay.
I like that.
It's always gonna be in the store. It's always gonna be available.
Represent for the vanillas. Come on.
Thank you very much. I gotta be out here letting y'all know everything is not gonna be a fucking to-do. You know, it's sometimes gonna be just something. It's just gonna be safe option.
That's what's wrong with you
Jerry's
chunky monkey, bitch. I
got all types
of shit going on.
That's what's wrong with you motherfuckers out here. Y'all are all here always trying to do the most and have like boom boom pow, like boom boom pow. Like what's
Listen,
wrong?
I got a name to protect, so I gotta do the most.
Okay.
What has been the most interesting like encounter with someone that you've liked, like, you know, like it was exciting, it was awesome, and you were like, oh shit, this motherfucker is awesome. Can you think about that time? Anybody?
Oh, I thought I was waiting on Dino. Like,
anytime you've just been wowed. I'm gonna come back to him, but you've just been like,
yeah, come back to me.
Yeah.
Let me look through my text log real quick.
I feel like there's been so many. I'm trying to narrow down. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, for me, I find that the more toxic the man is, the better. That's
crazy.
So
they do acrobatics. It's nuts. It's something about toxicity that makes them subhuman. Like, it's just nuts.
No, they do. I mean, they do say that toxic dick is like the most amazing. It's the one that, you know, weird. Like it. I had one, and to this day, I still, you know, DM him all the time, like, yo, are you gonna come over?
Just to check in.
Like, I don't want him to come over because I know what's gonna happen and it's gonna be great. But when I leave,
I'm gonna be feeling like shit.
Yeah, like it's gonna be like it's gonna be a downfall. I'm gonna be depressed and everything. In that moment, it's gonna be fucking amazing. It's gonna be the best thing ever. As soon as he leaves, I'll probably end up with a yeast infection.
Wow.
And all kinds of shit. I'll be depressed and I got a rash somewhere on my shoulder. Yeah, like there's going to be something wrong with it because I know that that's who he is. But in that moment, I'm all for it. I'm ready to just with the shits. After that, I'll probably be with the shits for real. You know?
Mm-hmm. All of the shit. Mm-hmm.
Just in shitty. Just fucking shitty. I'm gonna call him.
Okay, no, I'm slide in that DM.
Nah, I'm gonna call him.
I'm a DM him real quick. How you doing?
Come over here and waste my time.
You know, right? I was thinking about you today, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to waste my time.
No, you gotta hit him with the, you know, with all that's going on in the world. I just want to check in on my team. You know.
That's what's wrong with you women. Y'all love a nigga that'll waste your time.
Just wait.
Medino is the same way. He was like, all of the ones that I like don't like me back.
But there's some guys that I think that are interested, and, you know, they find me interesting. We have common interests in some things. So, you know, we just talking shit just to see, you know, like what happens.
When does talking shit escalate though? Like, have you ever just been talking shit and then you be like, oop,
ding dong, at my door.
Oop, a dick in my butt. You know, like
a dick in the butt is always planned. It's always planned. Okay. I don't know. Like, you just gotta, I guess, fill people out. Cause like I said, you just like with us men, like you just never know. I'm flaky. I'm an Aquarius. I'm flaky.
Oh my gosh.
Like I know niggas
flake.
is flaky, so it's just like you never know. Like you could be talking to a nigga for like weeks and it be going good, and then all of a sudden he just drop off the face of this earth.
All of a sudden.
He not texting.
Nope.
He not calling. He not liking your shit. You writing shit under his post, trying to get his attention.
Yep.
He talking to everybody but you.
Ooh.
Like you just don't know. Like you just, it could be anything.
Like what did I do?
But what did I
like
do,
you just,
though?
you never know with these niggas. So it's kind of just like, you know, we could just talk shit and see like where it go. If you about the action, like for me, like I know this sounds like kind of like a gold digging way, but you gotta prove to me, like, cause time is money. So if you gonna waste your money, I know you gonna invest the time. So to come see me is gonna cost you something. So if you willing to pay for that, then if we don't speak after this, we breaking even. Because you wasted your money. You know what I'm saying? You wasted your money. You're not gonna waste your money on something that's not gonna be fruitful. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna invest it. So if you really about it, let me see it. Let me see what you gonna do.
I know, that's right. I like that mindset. I might have to learn that. I'm gonna learn that.
You know what though? Sometimes I get really, I feel like I don't like people putting me to the test, right? Like it's something about that just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I'll give you an example. So my current boyfriend, from you know,
all right.
I mean,
all right, let's talk
if Sauce is in a full-blown relationship,
we got our OkCupid.
So am I. Exactly. So so I was like, you know, we were going back and forth, you know, kikiing online, and then I was like, hey, you know, would you be interested in exchanging you know, like contact information? And he was like, you know what, I'm good. Like
I'm good.
No, he didn't say I'm good, but he was just like, you know what, I'd prefer to, you know, just get to know you a little bit more. And so like, okay. And that was that. And so then like the conversation was just kind of like, where do we go from here?
So you don't want to talk to me?
Right. So then like I was like, this is really awkward. So then the next day I was just kind of like, good morning or whatever. And then he was like, here's my number, hit me up. And I was like, what kind of game are we playing?
On your time? What is this?
When we got on the phone, he was like, he likes to see, you know, like how women react to not getting
what they want
immediately. And, you know, he's like, if you spazzed out, I knew that you wouldn't be the one for me. And if you never hit me back again because of the fact that, like, you know, I wasn't ready on your time, then I would have known that you're just not the person for me. And so
girl, he's a psychopath. No, I'm kidding.
I'm low-key like digging it. Like I get that. Like maybe I'm
and I get it, but it also made me feel really like, well, I don't like being put to the test. I don't like it.
But is it really being put to the test if you don't know? He should have just never said anything. That's kind of where the psychopath came in. But
like, why you gotta explain to me what the test was? Like, just make it a fucking test and just make it a test.
And I just feel like everything now I'm gonna be looking at, did I pass the test? But
I also understand where he's coming from.
I get it,
though. Devil's advocate, because a lot of times when you meet people online and y'all exchange numbers after like the 7th message, the conversation don't go nowhere. So now you got a number in your phone to a nigga that you don't know, or a contact photo for a nigga that you're not going to speak to within a week. It's just like you taking up space in my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand him, you know, wanting to make sure like maybe let me not give her my number right away, because if she start acting crazy, I already know she gonna act crazy on a regular, and that's not something that I want to deal with.
Right. And I respect it. I respect that.
How you handled it though, I will say you did better than I would have, because if a nigga would have told me, I'm not giving you my number because you might be crazy, well, guess what? We ain't got nothing else to talk about.
I am crazy.
We ain't got nothing else to talk about.
So I'm like a double-edged sword. So there's some people, it depends on how much I'm really digging you. That's literally how I am. So if I'm digging you and you tell me no, all right, I'll be patient. I'm gonna play the long game. But if I'm not really digging you like that and I'm just kind of bored, fuck out of here. Like,
because there's 2 other people underneath you in my inbox.
Exactly. Fuck out of here.
And I just decided to give you this time right now, but hold that thought.
Hold it.
Right.
Hold it here. I'll be back when I'm bored
that's
as
just
fuck.
gonna be that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that online dating is really, really interesting. What is something that makes you guys, and I don't know if we talked about this last time, what is something that makes you swipe left or right on someone? Like, what are you looking at as soon as you kind of look at their picture? Nope, oh no. Because sometimes my finger gets very, very crampy from just pressing that X or swiping a different way. It's usually, for me, it's usually, the white guys. Yeah. And it'd be some real, where's the one? There's one.
I actually swiped right on the white guy. I think it was today. And
what about him made you?
It was, and that, I feel like I have a superpower where I read vibes, whether it's guys or girls. Like I just read a vibe from a picture. If you have this certain look or something throughout your
was
pictures,
a little fruity.
I like it flexible. But no, he was actually like the most burliest, manly of, the gorilla. It was a albino gorilla. Let me just call it what it is. He was gingerly, red hair, just
the gingers do something for me, okay?
Gingers are cute.
Gingers are cute as fuck. Like that Kennedy that's running right now. I love me.
He could get it.
Oh
he
my
could
God.
It.
Yeah, with his little Superman swirl in the front. Let me tell you.
You better save me.
Shit.
You better save me.
I will touch him.
Is that what she said?
I would touch him up. Legs.
Yeah, somebody said just no trolls under the bridge. Exactly.
That's true too.
No trolls under the bridge.
I always swipe on height too. You guys know what height is.
So I found myself being a heightist, guys. It happened. As much as I give you guys trouble for it. I feel like if you're 5'5", like you see my post says I'm 5'8". Why are we doing this? Like, why?
I got yelled at the other day by my for that, because we were talking about the same thing, and I was just like, height is a big thing for me, and he was like, but you're 5'2". How is height anything for you? And I'm like, fuck you, you giant. You get to have, the pick of the crop. Like if I'm dating a guy that's 5'5",
you take that's perfect for you.
No, it's not.
We have this argument all the time. It's
not perfect. It's not
because
okay.
Tall to you.
I mean, it's okay. I'm 6.5 ish. It depends on the sneaker. So like to me, height really is not a thing. But I get it because, you're a female, so you want to be with someone that's much larger than you so that they can protect you. That's what it is. Right, so you can feel protected. You don't want to feel like you got to protect him.
No, I'm ignorant. I just don't want to look like a circus act when I put on my stilts. When I'm walking around in my 4-inch stilettos or whatever I'm putting on, I don't want to look like a circus act.
4-inch? Those is kitten heels. We need you in 6.
Okay, I'm not a porn star. I'm 36, okay? With two broken ankles, okay? I'm a nana out here, all right? But for me, I'm already 5'8". You throw 4 inches on that thing, I'm 6 feet now. I'm now 6 feet. What are you doing at 5'5"? Right. What are we doing? But looking like a circus
that's totally understandable. It's a height thing with certain guys. I don't know what makes me swipe right. I think I'm just more of a looker. If you look cute in the face, then I might swipe right. But I've already deleted Tinder. I've already deleted these other apps. So I'm really not swiping on anything. I'm still sitting on Facebook dating, but it's like nobody really uses that. So it's really nothing to swipe on. Yeah. So it's really I'm really just on there to be a body in
I cannot
affirmative action
right now, Teddy. Wait, I can't. Elijah talk about I'll climb trees. I can't deal with Elijah.
Right, I've climbed a few trees before. We can climb a tree, but sometimes it's just like I don't want to be a jungle boy today.
I don't want to be Tarzan.
I'm
not Tarzan-y. Jill, are you being a little bit more selective on dating apps, or are you still kind of like what the fuck is your criteria? What do you swipe on?
Criteria.
Because you're not like pivy on looks and height and things like that. So what is your standard?
I mean, so one of the things that will make me swipe, there are a lot of things that make me swipe left, but if the person is into cats, I don't do men with cats. Something about that just doesn't sit well with my spirit. So, you know, and it's literally the most trivial thing. Like, I don't do cats. I also don't really like, if I read through your profile and like everything is a grammatical error or whatever, you know, so like I get caught up in those things. And then like if I do swipe right and then we start talking and then it's kind of like, oh, so like there's certain questions that turn me off. So I would say that like my criteria for swiping right is very low, but then like if we match and we start talking, like that's when I'll actually weed people out, because I don't necessarily like the idea of like completely writing somebody off without, you know, at least a conversation. But you know, if you start saying stuff that sounds really dumb, it's kind of like, I don't want to do this. Like, tell me about yourself, or do you have kids? And it's like like I wrote three of them. Like, you could have read 3 sentences that would have answered that question. So like, if you're out the gate just lazy as fuck and you can't read 3 sentences on a site where it's literally like pictures
right there in your face,
sentences,
I'm
right?
one of those
like
people. I'm guilty.
come on.
That's probably why I don't make it that far with most people, because I'd be like, all right, I got through the first, second question. All right, let me just have a conversation with you. You're cute. I like the first 2 questions. Let's have a conversation. I am one that doesn't like to necessarily read the entire bio.
But it's not an entire bio. It's legit 3. It's like 3.
Okay, Cupid has essays. Like, are you kidding?
Oh yeah.
You know what I do like?
They be asking a lot of questions.
Hinge is kind of cute how Hinge has it set up, because they have like little prompts like caption this picture. I felt cute, so I post this picture, or something that I'm debating all the time is
I deleted Hinge. I'm just not getting no play.
Hinge is weird. Hinge, I get some pull on Hinge, but not a lot. Like, I find myself talking to a lot more people. They'll like my picture and then whatever, but I like to comment on their shit all the time. Like, oh, you don't like this? Why don't you like this? And it opens up conversation. And then they'll hit me with the, hey, beautiful. I asked you a specific question. I know I'm fucking beautiful. Answer the question, Joe. What the fuck? Joe. If he can't read, he better be good with his hands and his dick. Okay.
Wow.
Questions.
Wow. There we have it.
I heard that.
He said, since we're talking about swiping, would y'all swipe left or right on each other, and why?
Wow. Oh, spicy combo.
Well, I was told by one of my homeboys that I'm a whole catfish. He saw my profile online and he was like, you're a whole catfish, Jill. You do not look like that. Or I've never seen that, Jill. And I was like,
what is your
oh my gosh.
profile?
What's your
I mean,
profile
sure,
like?
it's probably like me on my best day, but like,
dolled up for the gods. I mean, don't we all do that? Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna put a picture of me looking like this on there. Like, that's dumb.
I think you should try it out. See how that works.
Come on.
Because people do usually put their best. No. That's a lie. Because I've gone through some profiles and I've been like,
why'd you post that?
Maybe that's the best they had. Maybe it
no,
was.
it's not. I know it's not.
Sometimes they want to be clowns and they want to call it having a personality. You don't need to show your personality right out the gate, because that shit might turn somebody off if they don't know you.
Right. True. Well, okay. So I would say, in order for me to answer that question, I would have to hear what you guys have written on your profiles, because in terms of looks, you guys are all cute. So yes, I would possibly swipe right, but I want to hear what you have written in your profile.
Well, wow.
What y'all saying out here?
She's giving us essays.
Let me see.
Well, I'm gonna be the
What's
person
in my profile?
because I'm like the one that gives like the 1 or 2 word answers.
Me too. I don't do all of that bullshit. I don't got time.
So y'all don't have a little self summary?
I do.
I always have a self summary.
Mine says free spirit, looking for genuine connection. That's what it says.
Let me see.
Okay.
You would get swiped left on, Mo. Not enough for me.
I don't have the energy.
My summary is, I was bored, so I decided to online date. They say there are some gems to be found, and I'm just here to see if I get lucky.
Definitely swiping left on you, Hot Sauce. Sorry. Sorry.
What does that even mean?
No. It depends. What is the profile picture? Because I might swipe right and say something corny, because you know that's how we are.
Well, my profile picture is one of my best.
Of course.
It is like it. Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm swiping right, babe. I'm swiping right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
because I'm petty. You don't really have to say much for me. I'm just like, yes, you're cute. Yes.
Hi, beautiful. And I do just post all of my, all of my deaths because, I don't really want to say much. I don't feel to talk to y'all. I'm just on here.
I'm really not trying to sell myself. I'm just
because I hear a lot of people on here, not a lot of people, but there are some people that find love and they end up married and shit like that. And I'm like, you gotta be marrying a corny nigga or something like that, because these cute niggas is not on here.
They're not on
trying to get anything. No, like let's be for fucking honest.
Come on.
The dude I'm talking to is tall. He look good. He look like he smell good. He can dress. All those things. Why the fuck are you on a dating app?
That's not fair. I don't think that is fair at all to say that. Why are you on a dating app? Because you look good. You look like you smell good.
No. It's a difference between men and women, though.
Thank you.
Because there are 5 bitches to one dude. So I have to kind of find other ways to find dudes. If you're a dude, he can literally walk out of his house, and like I was telling you earlier, there'll probably be like 10, 15 motherfuckers out there like, ooh, and he can literally do online dating in person and pick and choose and swipe left and swipe right on what he wants. There's no reason, unless he's looking for instant pussy.
Or he's crazy.
Instant pussy. Instant vagina.
Not instant.
I don't know.
Link up, swipe right, link up with me,
Why
get the vagina, and keep it moving.
I feel like for the same reasons that you're online, I think men could make the very same argument. Like, yes, you look good. Yes, you smell good. Yes, you're short or whatever, and you got a big booty. Like, oh, so what? It doesn't mean that you...
Those are rare gems, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that she's not also struggling to find somebody that, she feels connected to and has a good connection with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's not fair.
No, I'm in here looking for love.
I'm basing it on my experience thus far. That's what I'm basing it on.
That's how I feel too.
The ideal is beautiful. That maybe there are
like the idea
guys that are just out there looking for love.
So I'm being naive. Right
now. As fuck.
I believe that it exists. I believe it. Somewhere out there it exists. I have hope. But based on my experience thus far, that's not the case. The finer they are, they're not here looking for love at all.
They're not. They are not. Mm-hmm. They are not. Speaking of not catfish, have you ever met dudes that claim that they are straight and be on these websites that are geared towards gays, and you'd be like, but I thought that.
Come on.
Yeah. Like, have you ever seen somebody be like, ooh, honey, what you doing on here?
Yes and no. Yes, because I know they're catfish. Like, they're not the real person. Mm-hmm. But I've never seen like one of those guys where I was just like, oh, you too straight to be on this app. Because nobody's ever too straight to be on an app. Like, some people, like, that's why they have this whole like down low thing. So it's just like a guy might have his chest out in the photo. You don't recognize his chest, but then when you talk to him, he unlock his private pictures, and you be like, "I know you, nigga. Like, you is, you know the niggas from around the way. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I've ever ran into a situation like that, and I'm not one of those gay men that like to sexualize straight men, because I think that's kind of weird as hell. Like,
do you?
Yeah, like it's just certain things that some
met a straight man and you were like, I'll take you down.
No, I don't think so. I would probably say like, oh, he's handsome, he's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, mentally, to me, that's like mental rape almost. Yeah. It's kind of just like, ooh, I be seeing it on Twitter when they be like retweeting pictures of people, especially like what's his name? John Legend, because his butt is big. So they be
John Legend do got a fat ass. He do.
And they be talking crazy. And I'm just like, yo, that is somebody's husband. Like, y'all look, that's mad embarrassing. Like, I've seen them do it to what's his name? Tiana Taylor's husband, where they would like,
Iman
you
Shumpert?
know,
Yeah,
like
but women
would,
do
like,
that too.
sexual, like it's different when women do it, but it's
I
just
get what
like
you
to
mean.
see a gay man do it. It's
Somebody
kind
who
of just
doesn't
like
wanna-
we already on thin ice, and y'all niggas making the ice thinner with this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax just a little bit. So I don't think I've ever been one of those gays to like try to sexualize a straight man. I just feel like you are who you are in front of people, and when you go to bed at night, that's your business. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a double standard? Because I feel like a lot of lesbian women hit on straight women a lot. Like a lot.
I do it all the time. It's fun.
It's fun. Look at you.
I do it for sport.
See?
It's fun.
I mean, the difference, but I feel like with women, they're like more understanding, so they know. It's just like, oh, she's probably flirting. It's just a
I was
joke.
gonna say,
it's
women
different.
are just overall playful like that.
Right,
anyway.
they just playful. Like you can't play with a straight dude like that, because
Yeah.
if you flirt with him, he might take offense to it and swing on you. And then it's a hate crime. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's levels to this shit where I feel like sometimes us gay men, and as you know, in general, sometimes we overstep our boundaries when it comes to people who identify a certain type of way. I get it. It's cute to keep cackle with your homegirls behind closed doors and shit like that. But some things don't need to be said out loud. Some things don't need to be put in a public forum, because then it make you look a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? And then it's bad for you if, God forbid, something happened to you. Then it's like, oh man, like
I shouldn't have done that.
Right. And then it's like, now everybody feel bad for you, but it's kind of like this could have been avoided a little bit. Just low key,
if he was
this could have been
careful.
avoided. You know what I'm saying? If you was just a little bit more mindful. You know, like I'm never taking away from somebody just being themselves. But, you know, sometimes a little too much is, you know, time and
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of discretion. Ain't nothing wrong with discretion.
Pull back a little bit.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Pull back.
And that's not to say I've never said a straight guy was cute or be like, oh, he's mad cute. But it was never one of those things where it's just like, ooh, this nigga is fine. I want to climb his back. Or this nigga could take me, throw me. Like,
I say that all the time.
Wow.
But it works for you. It works for you because you're a female. So they'll just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll play along with it. But if it's a guy doing that, it's just like, damn, bro. Like, if he punch you in the mouth right now, you might have to jump him, or
like turns into a whole different situation.
Have to jump him, or like it's different when it comes to males. It's just different, and I think that's just because of how society has groomed us overall.
Can I just say that there are some questions that are coming through these comments that I have to ask? Well, I feel like I already know Dino's answer, but I'm gonna switch it up for Dino. Okay?
Go ahead.
I know Hot Sauce's answer, so I'm gonna start with Jill. Jill. Would you date a bisexual man? Boom.
How you know my answer? You don't know my answer.
You don't know my
conversation we had last week.
Right.
Right.
Everybody knows your vanilla ass answer.
Stop your whole
So am I going into it knowing he's bisexual?
Yeah. Open, everything open and on the table. Would you date a bisexual man?
Possibly.
Okay. Dino, I'm gonna switch it up. Well, I already know your answer, but I'm gonna switch it up because the audience doesn't know. Dino, would you date a bisexual man or woman? Because what they don't know is Dino likes the ladies too sometimes.
I was gonna do that too. You do you dibble and dabble?
I wouldn't say I dibble and dabble, but you know, I have my fair share. Would I date a bisexual man though?
Would you?
This is triggering for me.
Oh no.
This is triggering. At this age, no. My ex was bisexual.
And what happened?
Well, no, he was bisexual. He didn't realize he was bisexual. Actually, long story short, he was straight when I met him. I didn't know he was gay, but he was gay friendly. He was around a bunch of gay people all the time. He took photos with gay people. I assumed he was gay. I was talking to one of his brothers as like, oh, put me on with your friend. And they was just like, you know, he's straight, right? And I'm just like, oh.
My bad.
My bad. Mm-hmm.
Right, like my bad. But then they was just like, but
There's
he's in the process of like trying to find himself.
Gotcha.
So I was actually his first boyfriend, and that lasted for a long time. Yeah. And we had, you know, good times. Eventually, he came to grips with his sexuality and came out that he was bisexual. That's great. But for me, I think it's just an internal thing. I don't know if I could, I don't know. Like, it's a 50-50 for me. Yeah. I guess it just depends on our relationship. Because if you're dating me, and you still have an attraction to women, that's fine, because I'm still attracted to women as well, but I don't act on it. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's not one of those things where it's just like, oh, I got a nigga at home, but tonight I want some pussy, so let me just like, it's not
it's pussy night.
Like, it's not one of those. But if it's like a situation where you're just like, you know, you my nigga, we together, and then we have that conversation where it's just like, oh, you know, tonight I want to try something a little different. Let's invite a female into the bedroom. Then that's the conversation. The big word, communication.
Come on.
Conversation.
Right, we have that conversation. Then it's just like, okay, cool. You're gonna flip a coin. Who gonna pipe first? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. But could I like see myself pursuing a guy that would not know whether or not he's going to marry one or the other in the end? I think it just becomes complex for me, because I identify as a gay male. Gotcha. So if you identify as a gay male, but you still want to play with the other anatomy every now and again, we can have that conversation. But if it's one of those things where you dating me, but you still want to date females as well, I don't know if I got the capacity to deal with
all that,
because I'm already crazy enough. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, like, I feel like, unfortunately, people who are bisexual get like this label where it's like, because you're bisexual, you
have to have both,
not monogamous. You know, it's like you can't be monogamous, and I think that's a little bit unfair.
Yeah.
Saying like,
that is,
if you're with me, and I happen to be, you know, a female, then you're with me, right? Especially if the agreement that we had is that we're going to be monogamous,
exactly,
et cetera, et cetera. But like, I think it's sometimes really unfortunate that like people who are, who identify as bisexual are kind of seen as like, you just all over the place. You don't know what the fuck you want. And it's kind of
like
I think that's always accurate.
Because I'll be honest, you get it as somebody who technically does identify as bisexual. If you have, and this is the reason why I hate the word labels, or I hate all these labels, because of all the stigmas that come along with it. And we catch it from both sides, the straight community and the gay community, or the LGBTQIA, all of it. You know what I mean? It's like, those side respects that just because we like both of you doesn't mean that we can't be monogamous, or we can't have the same agreements that everybody has in a heterosexual or a homosexual relationship. Like, we're still people who just have attraction to both sexes. Like, that's literally what it is.
Right.
It may be something on the table to talk about. We just have to have that conversation, you know.
I think that's what it all comes down to.
You know, sometimes it is a greedy thing, though. You know,
there are people that are greedy.
They abuse it. They abuse the, you know, that ability. They abuse it. So that's what makes it one of those things where it's just
now, is it abused if you're having a conversation about being bisexual and polyamorous? Is that being greedy, or is that just being,
that's a whole
honest?
Story.
Oh, you're not about that polyamory life? You're not about that?
I've already been there. I've already done it. I've had 2 niggas in and outside the bedroom. But that's for another day.
Okay. Well. But how's you're not getting out that question. That's all right.
Well, I mean, I've been sitting here really trying to think about it, and my instant answer would be no.
Yeah.
As I'm thinking about
dick
it,
in the butt.
Yeah, I am.
Exactly.
I'm thinking dick in the butt. Like, if I find out that you're cheating on me, and this is what the conversation has been, is it's not saying that you are, just because you are bisexual, you are automatically gonna cheat on me. But if I do find out that you're cheating on me, and I find out that you're cheating on me with a man, I think it would fuck with my head a little bit, you know, like.
So you just have to find out if he's a top or a bottom.
I mean, and I would rather him be a top, you know, like I would personally rather him be a top if that was what was gonna happen. That's full disclosure. Like, if you're gonna go out there, you better be the fucking toughest that you can be. Okay.
What Janet said in the movie for Color Girls? Oh, so you doing the bending?
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you doing the bending, you know, like I don't want to, and that's been my big thing. That was on our last episode about, you know, pegging and stuff like that. And that's just something that I can't wrap my head around. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. That's
it could
all
just
you.
Be like
I
he just want his
nothing.
prostate massage, girl. Use your finger. Stop
He
asking.
he loves to. That's the most erogenous zone in the male body, and it's in there. You gotta really like get in there. Is it?
Get up in there. What you scared for? All he gonna do is love you more.
Is it to win the pig? I'm gonna try it. Watch I get knocked out.
Wrong type. I know.
Damn it.
She deal with
they said, yeah, I deal with a lot of like Caribbean, like West Indian, hardcore, men like that. They'll be like, oh, like, oh shit, damn, sorry, my bad.
No, again, like no one is telling you to just go out there, you know what I'm saying, like finger fucking dudes. That's not what we're saying. You know what I'm saying?
My friend said that y'all like this. I'm a
That is the fastest way to get punched in the face. Again,
my friend said y'all like
communication is key. You gotta ask questions.
All of my friends said that they like this, so I'll communicate after. I thought
after you died. Yeah.
You don't like that? Okay. All right. Glad we got that out of the way. It will never happen again. You know, like. But you guys, we are crossing over to our 2-hour mark. Unfortunately, we do have to slide this to the side. But literally slide it to the side.
Wow.
But
all right.
Jill, you need to talk to the end.
Final thoughts.
I don't know if I should start this one off yet. Give me a second.
My final thought is this. I definitely would promote open and honest communication. Sticking your fingers where nobody has invited you to. And don't be asking people where they live. So.
I'll go next. Since my final thought is, I seriously enjoy these conversations with everybody who we've had on the podcast so far. Medino, this has been absolutely amazing, just sitting here and just kicking the shit with you like I've known you all my life. And I would definitely love for you to come back a little bit later so that we can get into all of your shit. But these conversations are enlightening, they're educational, they're your infotainment, and I really do appreciate them. So even just disclaimer all the time, I put this out there. I'm going to ask the very ignorant questions because I do like to be educated and I do like to know. So
we love to educate.
Exactly. So if anytime I'm always going to cross the border or whatever.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do.
But that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
But you learn to love her for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're there. We're there. I'm just vanilla. I just want to learn shit. I want to.
Rocky Road.
Let's go. Yeah, with Medino, you'll go to you next.
So my final thoughts. This was definitely fun. Thank you for having me and welcoming me with open arms. So we have to do this again. It has to be like a part 2 to this.
Yes,
because we
of
have to finish where we started. Also, thank you to everybody that joined in and chimed in on the chat room. And it's been real. Shout out to everybody that supports me. Can I plug in? Can I do plugs?
Absolutely, plug everything.
Okay, so plugging everything now. We about to. Let me get the list.
Wait a minute.
So, no, I'm just kidding. No. Big shout out to everybody that came and joined the chat. Make sure if you don't know who I am, my name is Medino Green. Check out my new EP, Green. It's out everywhere. You can stream it, download it, whatever you want to do. Also follow the Misfits Cypher. We just did a cypher with other LGBTQ men of color that will be dropping. I think it's dropping next week. Next week, Friday, it should be dropping. Don't quote me on that because we still getting the final edits. But it should be dropping next week. So guys, check out for that. It's Misfits Club Cypher on Instagram. Also, shout out to my bestie. I gotta shout out my bestie, Teddy Snacks.
Yeah, Teddy Snacks.
And for those who don't know, he is running his business, Buggy Bears deliveries. If you guys want to shop, or if you don't want to leave your house for quarantine reasons, he will deliver any and everything for you. Hit him up. You know, he will, he will provide you with some amazing contactless delivery. Everything is legit through PayPal, all of that. You know, we busting out the numbers. We got reoccurring customers. It's a big thing.
Yeah, we'll definitely plug that too. We love a black business.
It's a black business.
Come on.
Especially in this time, support the black business.
Facts. That's a final thought. If that ain't a final thought, I don't know what is. Okay. My final thought. Oh, is it my turn?
No, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. My final thought, man, is all Black lives matter.
Literally.
Point blank, fist up. All Black lives.
Every single bit. And if I see it, I'm gonna speak up about it. And I'm literally like about that life. I am joining. I will cuss your ass completely out. These are my friends.
Yes. These are my friends.
Fucking friends. All right. These are my friends.
Oh, wow. And I guess you could follow me. Jesus. Follow her friend.
My friend.
On social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Ms. Mophila, MZMOPHILA, like you see it written across the bottom, and it just went away. And you can also follow my podcast, Let's Get Naked, all one word, LEZGETNAKED with an underscore on Instagram.
When is that starting up again?
Actually within the next week, season 2.
I will be on there.
Yes. We're gonna talk to Dino. We're gonna talk to Dino.
Oh, I like your dance.
Yeah.
You're coming back.
Yes. So that's all my plugs. That's all my plugs for right now.
Teddy said he's coming with us. He's coming on next time. And
we need Teddy.
Yeah, we need Teddy.
Oh gosh, Teddy's
yes, y'all need Teddy because he will shake the room.
Yes.
Yeah. He was in the comments cutting right up. Okay.
Yes,
he is. He about to come into this room and beat me up when this is over.
Yeah.
So yeah, next time definitely bring Teddy with you, and
hopefully
we'll actually be together where we can actually break bread and have a drink and shit
and
like
have some popcorn. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, popcorn.
There's a popcorn plug.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a second. We can't talk about it yet, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Right after this. With that said, people, thank you for coming to another serving of Henny and Hot Wings. You can find us across all social media at Henny and Hot Wings. My name is Miss Hot Sauce. Miss Hot Sauce to you across all social media. And make sure you follow and listen to Spark FM online. It is New England's urban black radio station. We out here, independent media in this bitch. And we can be found on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, TuneIn Radio, and you can just Google us, Henny and Hot Wings. You'll find us everywhere. This episode will be out on YouTube and SoundCloud. So make sure you guys listen, share it up, listen with a friend, comment back, and if you have any questions or concerns, keep them to yourself.
Yep, pretty much.
With that said, people, we are officially out of here.
Peace out. Oh, here we go. Here we go with my struggle. All right.
Okay, stop.
It's the struggle.
And
every time.